Chapter 6. The Race. Now there began a desperate race. The machines against the foxes in the beginning. The hill looked like this. After about an hour, as the machines beat away more and more soil from the hilltop, it looked like this. Sometimes the foxes would gain a little ground and the clanging noises would ground farther and Mr. Fox would say, "We're going to make it. I am sure we are." But then, a few moments later, the machines would came back at them, and the crash of the mighty shovels would get louder and louder. Once the foxes actually saw the sharp metal edge of one of the shovels as it scraped up the earth just behind them. "Keep going, my darlings," panted Mr. Fox. "Don't give up. Keep going," the fat buggies shouted to Buns and Bean. "We'll get Will any moment now. Have you caught sight of him yet?" Bean called back. "Not yet," shouted Buggies, "but I think you are close." "I'll pick him up with my bucket," shouted Buns. "I'll chop him to pieces." But by lunchtime, the machines were still at it, and so were the poor foxes. The wheel now looked like this. The farmers did not stop for lunch. They were too keen to finish the job. They were Mr. Fox, yelled Buns, leaning out of his tractor. "We're coming to get you now. You've had your last chicken," yelled Buggies. "You'll never come prowling around my farm again." A sort of madness had taken hold of the three men. The tall, skinny Bean and dwarfish, pot-bellied Buns were driving their machines like maniacs, racing the motors and making the shovels dig at a terrific speed. The fat boggis was hopping about like a diversion and shouting, "Faster, faster!" By 5 o'clock in the afternoon, this is what had happened to the hill. The machines had gone was like the crater of a volcano. It was such an extraordinary sight that crowd of people came rushing out from the surrounded villages to have a look. They stood on the edge of the crater and stared down at Buggies and Bounce and Bean. There, hey there, Buggies, what's going on? We're after a fox. You must be mad. The people jeered and louder, but this only made the three farmers more furious and more obstinate and more determined than ever now to give up until they had caught the fox.